Shalom to the elect of Israel, to the hopeful elect of Israel, you Hebrew Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, West Indians, and Haitians. Gotta give all praises honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shah. The Most High, the Heavenly Father, his Hebrew name is Yahweh. Not Yahweh, not Jehovah, not God, not Elohim, not Mosai, not Lord, not Yah, not Jah, not Ahaya, not Allah, not Abba. It's Yahweh. And his only begotten son name in the Hebrew is Yahweh Shah, not Yahshua, not Yeshua, not Jesus Christos, not Jesus Christ, not Serapis Christos, not Yeshaya, not Yehoshua. It's Yahweh Shah. So got to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shah, Bahashem Rekah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elder bishops and elders of Great Millstone who rule well, who teach well, who are the apostles and elders of all of Israel, ready concepted or not. In a sense of salutation. Taught the Akim pushing the truth and believing the truth throughout the four winds of the earth, the entire world, waking up the hopeful elect. And shalom to the outward who are listening, learning. You few sisters who are listening, learning. Messiah coming at you another lesson. In truth, facts, faith, and edification. On the day of edification, Lord, will us be edifying. So, I titled this lesson, Transforming Seems Healthy, but it's leading to death. And I was going to play that video that I played yesterday. The LDS woman had did the lesson on, and they took the video down, man. So I had to pull back up the video that I did yesterday. I was gonna play this clip because yesterday I did it. I was pointing out the point that they were saying that God is dead. So in that video, it's talking about way more than God is dead and Jesus is fake news. This is them through conditioning and gradualism transforming, and nobody is really paying attention to what's really going on, man. Like these devils is changing up the whole system through conditioning and gradualism, and it's just to people of the world, it's normal. What we see this is leading to the MOTB, man. You know, total digital everything. So let me read this real quick. It's a copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair uses are used permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Non-profit, educational, personal use tips to balance in favor of fair use. You see it. So I had the clip pulled up, and when I clicked on it, they took the video down. Whoever channel was on, it said it took the video down. So I had to pull it back up myself. I got 3 articles. I'm going to read some of these articles and how these devils is changing up the whole system, and nobody is paying attention to this. Now you got these you got a lot of woke Job 924s that's paying attention to what's going on. It's a lot of Job 924s out here that's paying attention. You got a lot of Jake that's paying attention too, but for the most part, people's are just they don't understand what's going on, man, because everybody is focused on getting money. Jake is out working, trying to keep bills paid, trying to keep food on the table. Nobody's paying attention to the transformation from the uh first industrial revolution to the fourth, man. Okay, this is a transformation, man, through conditioning and gradualism, and nobody is paying attention. So I was going to play this clip and pull out all the things that they said in this video, but I would just focus on them saying God is dead and Jesus is fake news. It's a lot of things going on. Let's play it. Let's just play it.
God is dead, according to the World Economic Forum, who have also declared that Jesus is fake news and that WEF leaders have acquired divine powers to rule over humanity. According to the WEF, a new one world religion has arrived, and it unites all of humanity in worshipping at the altar of climate science, techno-communism, and eugenics. If you find it hard to believe Klaus Schwab's WEF would go this far...
So see, just right there, let's play this back. Let's play this back from 5. See, this is a takeover, man. Okay? Agenda 2030. When you look up Agenda 2030, it's about, well, I'm going to read it to you. Let's play this first, and I'm going to read I'm going to read the articles.
God is dead, according to the World Economic Forum, who have also declared that Jesus is fake news and that WEF leaders have acquired divine powers to rule over humanity.
You see, have acquired divine powers to take over all humanity. And these devils said that all the nations are just Goyim, man. And they want everybody tagged like cows, man.
According to the WEF, a new one world religion has arrived, and it unites all of humanity in worshipping at the altar of climate science, techno-communism, and eugenics.
You see, it said united all humanity. Through what? Through the MOTB, man. And I got the articles. I'm going to read some of this.
If you find it hard to believe Klaus Schwab's WEF would go this far, you clearly haven't been paying attention to developments in recent times.
You see, that's speaking how he's speaking. That's those that's against this, that's not with this, man. But what can you do when you stay in the country and they say, "Oh, we going from cash to using this type of currency"? What can you do? Like, it's nothing you can do, man. You have to go with what's changing. You can't do nothing, right? You gotta these other countries like Sweden and China that's mostly using digital currency. What can you do if you lived in those places, man? Like, you work, how you gonna get your money? And this is happening through conditioning and gradualism, man. And nobody's paying. Jake just still want to talk about the money phone, man.
Klaus Schwab's right-hand man, Yuval Noah Harari, has announced that the WEF has been so successful in its plans that it's acquiring divine powers of creation and destruction. The blasphemy doesn't stop there. Harari also promises that the WEF will turn humans into gods.
Developing
Now you see how you say
even
blasphemy?
bigger powers than
The scripture talks about them blaspheming everything against the Lord, man. 2 Thessalonians 2 and 4. Say, who opposed him and exalted himself against all that is called the Lord. Now I want to read this, because everything these devils doing is going against the Lord, which is all blasphemy, man. Now in Ezekiel, let's read this. In Ezekiel 35, verse 10, it reads, "Because thou hast said, these two nations and these two countries shall be mine, and we will possess it, whereas the Lord was there. Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord power, I will even do according to thy anger and according to thy envy, which thou hast used out of thy hatred against them, and I will make myself known among them when I judge thee." And they say right here, "And I will make myself known among them when I have judged thee." It said the same thing in Sirach 36. When it say, "Let them know thee as we have known thee," right? Magnify thy powers. As a matter of fact, real quick, let's get this. In Sirach 36, it reads, verse 4, "As thou wast sanctified in us before them, so be thou magnified among them before us. And let them know thee as we have known thee, that there is no power but only thou, O power." Right? So that's what it's saying right here in Ezekiel. Hey, that's heavy, because I just noticed that now, just now. That's heavy. So in Ezekiel 35 and 11, it reads, "Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord power, I will even do according to thy anger and according to thy envy, which thou hast used out of thy hatred against them, and I will make myself known among them when I have judged thee. And thou shalt know that I am the Lord Yahweh, and that I have heard all thy blasphemies, which thou hast spoken against the mountains of Israel, saying, they are laid desolate, they are given us to consume. Thus with your mouth have you boasted against me, and have multiplied your words against me. I have heard them." So here it is, the Lord telling is, because when you read verse 15, it say, verse 14, "Thus saith the Lord power, when the whole earth rejoices, I will make thee desolate, as thou did rejoice at the inheritance of the house of Israel, because it was desolate, so will I do unto thee. Thou shalt be desolate, O Mount Seir, and all Idumea, even all of it, and they shall know that I am the Lord Yahweh. So here it is, the Lord telling these devils how they boasting, right? Well, guess what? The Lord gave them a mouth to do that. This is Revelation. This is Revelations chapter, hold on here, 13 and 5. Revelation 13 and 5, it reads, and there was given unto him a mouth speaking great things and blasphemies, and power was given unto him to continue 42 months. And he opened his mouth in blasphemy against God. You see, God is dead and Jesus is fake news. And he opened his mouth in blasphemy against God to blaspheme his name and his tabernacle and them that dwell in heaven. You see, and it was given unto him to make war with the saints and to overcome them, and power was given him over all kindreds and tongues and nations. You see, so these devils blaspheming, man. So let's go back to this.
than ever before, we are really acquiring divine powers of creation and destruction. We are really upgrading humans into gods. We are acquiring, for instance, the power to re-engineer life.
See, and they trying to do what the Lord gonna do. Because you know, as scriptures say that we are gods. What is that? Psalms 82, right? So they trying to play the role of the Lord, man. Where they say, I am and none else. That's what they say. That's what it said in the scripts, man. Hold on. Let's play it again, man. These devils are something serious, man.
Harari also promises that the WEF will turn humans into gods.
Developing.
See, that's what the Lord going to do to the whole fleck of Israel, man. These devils trying to do this through technology, man.
Even bigger powers than ever before. We are really.
See, this nigga said even bigger powers than ever before. What can get bigger than omnipotent, omnipotent, man? You got to be a bugged out demon to think like this, man. That pride, man.
Acquiring divine powers of creation and destruction. We are really upgrading humans into gods. We are acquiring, for instance, the power to re-engineer life.
The WEF
And that's through the MOTB. They trying to do this, man.
is also increasingly hostile to Christianity and other major religions. If you read between the lines just a little, it's clear that the WEF is consciously attempting to supplant Jesus.
I mean, all this story about Jesus rising from the dead and being the Son of God, this is fake news.
Humans are now hackable animals.
Now we know the Lord's name ain't Jesus Christos, but what they are saying, they are blaspheming against the Lord. Let's read this again, man. Revelation 13 and 5. It reads, and there was given unto him a mouth speaking great things and blasphemies, and power was given unto him to continue 42 months. And he opened his mouth in blasphemy against God, to blaspheme his name and his tabernacle and them that dwell in heaven, man. We seen this devil do this live time, man.
You know, the whole idea that humans have, you know, this, they have this soul or spirit and they have free will and nobody knows what's happening inside me. So whatever
You see, nobody got free will, man. And through the scripts, okay, Romans 15 and 4, man, we know what's going on inside of us, man. You either got the spirit of Yahweh Shemawashah or you don't, man. Ezekiel 18 and 20 say, the wickedness of the wicked shall be upon him, and the righteousness of the righteous shall be upon him. Oh, in 2nd Ezra 14 and 35, it reads, for after death shall the judgment come, and we shall live again, and then shall the names of the righteous be manifest, and the works of the ungodly shall be declared. So we know what's going on. The Lord said, Yahweh shall say, you shall know a man by his fruits. So either, man, this guy here is bugged out. Let's play this again. This guy, hold on, Salakia.
hostile to Christianity and other major religions. If you read between the lines just a little, it's clear that the WEF is consciously attempting to supplant Jesus.
I mean, all this story about Jesus rising from the dead and being the Son of God, this is fake news. Humans are now hackable animals. You know, the whole idea that humans have, you know, they have this soul or spirit and they have free will and nobody knows what's happening inside me.
You see, what are they talking about, man? But that's why I tell you in 1 Corinthians 2:14, the natural man, let's read that. This is crazy, man. Hey, but it's supposed to be this way. This is the heresy. This goes along with in 1 Corinthians 11:19, there must be heresies among us, that we may know who's among us approved to teach sound doctrine, man. This is 1 Corinthians 2. Matter of fact, let's start at 9. But as is written, I have not seen, nor ill heard, neither have entered into the heart of man the things which God hath prepared for them that love him. But power hath revealed them unto us by his Spirit, for the Spirit searcheth all things, yet the deep things of God. For what man knoweth the things of a man, save the Spirit of man, which is in him? Even so the things of God knoweth no man, but the Spirit of God. Now we have received not the spirit of the world, but the Spirit which is of power, that we may know the things that are freely given unto us of power. Which things also we speak, not in the words which man's wisdom teacheth, but which the Holy Spirit teacheth, comparing spiritual things with spiritual. But the natural man receiveth not the things of the Spirit of power, for they are foolishness unto him, neither can he know them, because they are spiritually discerned. So this is foolishness, man. This is foolishness.
So whatever I choose, whether in the election or whether in the supermarket, this is my free will, that's over.
According to the WEF, Jesus is fake news. God is dead and you do not have a soul. You are a hackable animal who does not have the capacity for free will. The World Economic Forum has spent decades quietly infiltrating democratically elected governments, penetrating cabinets, and wielding an outsized influence on the world from the corridors of Schwab's Swiss hideout in Davos.
So that we penetrate the cabinets. So yesterday I was at a reception for Prime Minister Trudeau, and I know that half of this cabinet, or even more, half of this cabinet, are actually young global leaders of the World Economic Forum.
These tyrants have now become arrogant and sure of their own success. They are no longer hiding in the shadows and pulling puppet strings from behind the curtain. According to Schwab, it is his role to shape the transformation of the world in the current period. And unsurprisingly, he admires the Chinese system of state control authoritarianism.
On the G20, you were there meeting some of the leaders as well. Professor Schwab, what do you make of the result? Finally, they put something as a statement, and it seems quite positive with all the voices included.
I think it's positive. It's already positive through the fact that everybody agreed about the statement, which we haven't had the last years. Now the base has been formed, but we have to go one step further. We have to have a strategic mood. We have to construct the world of tomorrow. It's a systemic transformation of the world. So we have to define how the world should look like, which we want to come out of this transformation period. I respect China's achievements, which are tremendous over the last over 40 years. I think it's a role model for many countries.
With world leaders and cabinets firmly under their control, Western democracy has been decimated. Trudeau's Canada has become a wasteland of authoritarian control. Jacinda Ardern's New Zealand is arguably even more tightly controlled by the Davos technocrats. Why should they respect us and our human and constitutional rights if they see us as hackable animals incapable of free thought? Take a look at Brazil for a glimpse of the future. President Bolsonaro's supporters are protesting what they claim to be a wildly unfair and corrupt election. WEF favorite Lula, who hasn't even taken office yet, has already started enacting Klaus Schwab's playbook, freezing the bank accounts of protesters amid a chilling crackdown on freedom of speech and the
You see that? Freezing bank accounts. And what you think gonna happen, man? What you think gonna happen when this whole digital transformation be mandated, man? Be mandatory. They already showing you, man. Hey, this is the Lord showing the hopeful elect, man. They already doing it.
right to protest peacefully. First Canada, now Brazil, next the United States. French billionaire Philippe Argilier claims he has 4 databases that will expose 38 individuals who control the whole world and run the shadow government. Bill Gates, who needs no introduction, is one of those 38 unelected individuals who control the daily lives of 8 billion people. According to Argilier, he can prove the Biden administration takes direct orders from the shadow government.
And altogether,
We already
38
know that.
individuals run the daily lives of 8 billion people on Earth. Maria, the shadow government is the entity that is behind most, if not all, elected government that tell them what to do and what not to do based upon geopolitical agreements, most of them anchored in military abroad interventions.
Psalm 64:7 reads, "For power shall shoot at them with an arrow." Matter of fact, let me pull it just so I can read it accurate. Psalm 64. We already know this, man. Everybody's controlled by the shadow government, which is the elites. Psalm 64:7 reads, "But power shall shoot at them with an arrow, suddenly shall they be wounded. So they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away." We already know this. But what we're seeing is these devils is turning on them, man. Okay? What is that? Mark 3, Isaiah 19, Luke 11, right? They have always been a divided house, man.
That's what the shadow government is. And I can tell you today that the Biden's administration is under the control of the shadow government. I can confirm this without any hesitation based upon the information that I have.
If you
He'll be tapped out soon.
want a sneak peek of the future under this shadow government, it's worth paying attention to Bill Gates' latest announcement. Gates has a history of playing God. Robert F. Kennedy warned us about this trait in Gates' psychology years ago. According to Kennedy Jr., the World Health Organization is conducting global social and medical experimentation in accordance with the vision of their mega donor, Bill Gates, and his religious faith that he can use technology, vaccines, and GMO agriculture to make him the savior of all humanity. Gates' strategy of buying World Health Organization and purchasing control of US health officials like Tony Fauci and Deborah Birx means the Microsoft co-founder can now dictate global health policies affecting 7 billion people and to control the most intimate details of our lives, said Kennedy Jr. on his Instagram page. Just last week, Gates, in his role as false savior, was caught telling world leaders that it's time for death panels to decide who has the right to live and die.
Is $1 million.
You see that, man? Let me read this. These devils, man, that's where they gotta go, man. And that's why we gotta constantly pull up these prayers, man. Like I tell you, Ecclesiastes 36, sake the time short. Hey, cause these devils, man, which we know they time running out. Okay, as the scripture said, they ain't gonna be able to, they would not be able to perform that enterprise. This is Psalm 74:18. Remember this, that the enemy have reproached, O Yahweh, and that the foolish people has blasphemed thy name. And this is what they doing through their works, man. They blaspheming Yahweh while Yahweh Shai, man.
On that last 3 months of life for that patient, would it be better not to lay off those 10 teachers and to make that trade-off in medical costs. But that's called the death panel, and you're not supposed to have that discussion. So you, of course,
But
we're
that's
making
an interesting thing you just said, which is just the last 3 months in life for one person or something, because we haven't had a discussion of how to allocate that money. It means we lay off 3 teachers to do so. I mean, in other words, we
That's
haven't
right.
had this type of
Society's making-
allocation.
We're making that
discussion.
trade-off because of huge medical costs that are not examined to see which ones actually have no benefit whatsoever.
Well, wait, it's-
And because of pension generosity, we will be laying off over 100,000 teachers, which, you know, I'm very much against that. And the whole AFT will agree with me on that.
Of course, Gates's death panels have everything to do with the globalist elite's obsession with depopulation. This is the brutal, soulless world Gates and the shadow government at the World Economic Forum are determined to roll out as part of their Great Reset. We can't allow their evil religion to become the new normal. Take a look at one of the videos in the description box below for a deep dive in.
See, they call it the global reset. Now let me get these. I want to read some of these articles that I got here. So these devils is really doing this, man. So let me get this one here first. So this one is titled Sustainable Development Goals, right? So it got 17 goals. No poverty, zero hunger, good health and well-being, quality education. It's a gender equality, right? Clean water and sanitation, affordable and clean energy, decent work and economic growth. It's a industrial innovation and infrastructure, reduce inequalities, sustainable cities and communities, responsible consumption and production. You see, responsible consumption and production is, they want to control what they call it, our carbon footprint, man. They want to track your food. They want to track your money, right? So I'm going to read some of this. It say, the Sustainable Development Goals are a universal call to action to end poverty, protect the planet, and improve the lives and prospects of everyone, everywhere. The 17 goals were adopted by all UN member states in 2015 as part of the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development, which sets out a 15-year plan to achieve the goals. Today, progress is being made in many places, but overall action to meet the goals is not yet advanced at the speed or scale required. 2020 needs to usher in a decade of ambitious action to deliver the goals 2030. So it's with just 10 years left to achieve the Sustainable Development Goals, world leaders at the SDG Summit in September 2019 called for a decade of action and deliver for sustainable development and pledged to mobilize financing, enhance national implementation, and strengthen institutions to achieve the goals by the target date of 2030, leaving no one behind. This is what I want to bring out. Leaving no one behind, meaning what? You either got the MOTB, right? Or you don't. Leaving no one behind. The UN Secretary General called on all sectors of society to mobilize for a decade of action on 3 levels. Global action to secure greater leadership, more resources, and smarter solutions for the Sustainable Development Goals. Local action, embedding the needed transition in the policies, budgets, institutions, and regulatory frameworks of governments, cities, and local authorities, and people action, including by youth, civil society, the media, the private sector, unions, academic, academy, and other stakeholders to generate an unstoppable movement pushing for the retired transformation. So I want to get this other one. So in this other article, it say, hold on, let me pull it up here. They said they ain't leaving nobody behind, man. So let me get this one. Oh, let me show this first. So this one is called The Fourth Industrial Revolution, What It Means, How to Respond. So it say here, we stand on the brink of a technological revolution, technological revolution, Salakia, that will fundamentally alter the way we live, work, and relate to one another. In its scale, scope, and complexity, the transformation will be unlike anything humankind has experienced before. We do not yet know how it will unfold, but one thing is clear: the response to it must be integrated and comprehensive, involving all stakeholders of the global polity, Salakia, from the public and private sectors to academia, civil society. The first industrial revolution used water and steam power to mechanize production. The second used electric power to create mass production. The third used electronics and information technology to automate production. Now, a fourth industrial revolution is building on the third, the digital revolution that has been occurring since the middle of the last century. It is categorized by a fusion of technologies that is blurring the lines between the physical, digital, and biological spheres. So they got the 1784, right? It says 1784 was steam, water, mechanical production equipment, right? Now, from 1619 to this point of 1784, Jake was working on the plantations, right? So they got 1870, division of labor, electricity, mass production. And Jake didn't get freed until what, 1865, allegedly, because in 1867, it was still 2 states that had slaves. So in 1964, so look right here, say 1870, division of labor, electricity, mass production, right? 1969, electronics, IT, automated production. Now, hold on. In 1964, that's when Jake got to start in the race. The video I played the other day, it show you that Jake didn't get a start in this race in the world to be, able to start chasing the bag was in 1964. So 1784, steam water, mechanical production, equipment. Okay. 1619 to this point, 1784, Jake was enslaved. 1870, division of labor, electricity, mass production. Okay. Jake got freed in 1865, allegedly. Well, 1867. Okay. This ain't that far away, man. Then you got Jake like Steve Harvey and Snoop talking, they tired of seeing slave movies, man. 1969, electronics, IT, automated production. When we jumped in the race in 1964, hold on, bear with me for a second. Let me get this. We didn't jump in the race until 1964, man. Let me pull it up real quick. Bear with me for a second. Let me pull this up. We didn't jump in this race until 1964, man. Let me pull it up. Bear with me here for a moment. I just want to pull it up and show. And these devils, man. These devils are some serious, man. I just want to find this real quick. I just did a lesson on this. Or actually, yeah, I just redid a lesson on this. So hold on here. Okay, so right here it's called the unequal opportunity race, right? So okay, I had to pull it up. Bear with me. I'm gonna come back to this. So that showed you in 1969, that was the third industrial revolution, right? Well, in 1964, we had just jumped in the race, man. Check this out. I just want to show you the top of this. Remember from 1619, slavery, right? Now look, it said the first industrial revolution was in 1780. We still at the finish line now. From 1492, we still at the finish line, right? We still at the start line, right? The second industrial revolution came in when? It said 1870, right? 1870 was the second industrial revolution, right? What Jake was that? What Jake was that, man? 1865, 1867, okay, when slavery was allegedly abolished. Well, the Emancipation Proclamation was a transferring of slaves, man. Okay, went from the south to the north, man. You being from being not getting paid just to getting paid, man. Look, check this out. Bye-bye. See, 1964, that's when Ephraim and Judah got in the race, man. Okay? That's all I want to show you. Now let's go back to this. So these devils, man. These devils got a lot to pay for, man. So going back to this, fourth industrial revolution, you see it say 1784, which was the first steam water mechanical production equipment. 1870, division of labor, electricity mass production. 1969, electronics, IT, automated production. Say the fourth industrial, cyber, physical system, right? Which is doing what? Joining you to be a damn robot, basically, man. So it say, that's going to the point about the fourth industrial. It say the possibility of billions of people connected by mobile devices with unprecedented processing power, storage capacity, and access to knowledge are unlimited. And these possibilities will be multiplied by emerging technology breakthroughs in fields such as artificial intelligence, robotics, the Internet of Things, right? Autonomous vehicles, 3D printing, nanotechnology, biotechnology, right? With bio is body technology, right? Body hacking, that this devil said, material science, energy storage, and quantum computing. Already, artificial intelligence is all around us. And the brother son, and when you look at this guy, what is this guy name? What is this? Elon Musk. He already talking about how AI gonna take over, man. If they advances AI, and they showed you in the movie, man, in these Terminator movies, man, AI gonna take over. It say already artificial intelligence is all around us, from self-driving cars and drones to virtual assistants and software that translate or invest. Impressive progress has been made in AI in recent years, driven by exponential increases in computing power and by the availability of vast amounts of data. From software used to discover new drugs to algorithms used to predict our cultural interests, digital fabrications, technologies, meanwhile, are interacting with the biological world on a daily basis. Engineers, designers, and architects are combining computational design, additive manufacturing materials, engineering, and genetic biology. Salakia, I got confused with this word. And what it say? In synthetic biology to pioneer a symbiosis between microorganisms, our bodies, the product we consume, and even buildings we inhabit. Because now they turned in your whole house. Now you can get your door, the refrigerator, everything can be computers. So let's go back to this. I got this other article I want to read. I'm gonna get a couple precepts and I'm gonna close up. These devils, man. But we know the Lord say what they got going on ain't gonna work, man. So this is the one. This is let me see. Yeah. This is called Transforming hold on. It's like a computer had froze up for a second. So this one is called Transforming Our World, the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. Now, I'm going to read some of this. Look at this. This agenda is a plan of action for people, planet, and prosperity. It also seems to strengthen universal peace and larger freedom. We recognize that eradicating poverty in all its forms and dimensions, including extreme poverty, is the greater global challenge and an indispensable requirement for sustainable development. All countries and all stakeholders action in collaborative partnership will implement this plan. It said, we are resolved to free the human race from the tyranny of poverty and want to heal and secure our planet. We are determined to take the bold and transformative steps which are urgently needed to shift the world onto a sustainable and resilient path. It say, as we embark on this collective journey, we pledge that no one will be left behind. Everybody will have the MOTB. The 17 Sustainable Development Goals and the 169 targets, which we are announcing today, demonstrates the scale and ambition on this new universal agenda. They seek to build on the millennial development goals and complete what these did not achieve. They seek to realize the human rights of all and to achieve, here we go. That's why we keep telling you this is Sodom and Egypt, man. It say right here, it say they seek to realize the human rights of all and to achieve gender equality. And here we go, the empowerment of all women and girls. Hold on. Gender equality, right? And empowerment of all women. You see it? And girls. They are integrated, and indivisible, and balance the three dimensions of sustainable development: the economic, social, and environmental. So here these devils, man. So let's say here, people, we are determined to end poverty and hunger in all their forms and dimensions and to ensure that all human beings can fulfill their potential in dignity and equality and in a healthy environment. Okay? Planet. We are determined to protect the planet from degradation, including through sustainable consumption and production. Because they're going to control how you eat, when you eat, what you eat. It says sustainably managing its natural resources and taking urgent action on climate change so they can support the needs of the present and future generations. You see, they got peace. There's a peace. We are determined to foster peaceful, just, and inclusive societies which are free from fear and violence. So when you watch movies like this movie, what's this movie called with Wesley Snipes and Sylvester Stallone, the old movie, Demolition Man. Remember with what's her name is? Sarah Bullock said she was bored because there wasn't no action going on. Right, everything was already. Oh, in China, they got all these cameras, man. I did a lesson this a little while ago. They got over 3 million cameras in China, man. Okay, that's how Babylon the Great is. And we would be downtown, like ain't nothing happened in the last, maybe a month or two, but there was shootings going on down there for like maybe a month, two in a row, man. And these people's like, they got to put up more cameras because people go downtown to have a good time on, the week be all rough. So they go downtown to have a good time. They should be able to go down there and have a good time with no problems. So these people in Orlando said that, the government said they're going to start putting up more cameras. And they got a lot of cameras in China, man. So it's we are determined to foster peaceful, just, and inclusive societies which are free from fear and violence. You see, like the movie Demolition Man, there can be no sustainable development without peace, and no peace without sustainable development. So when the Lord said, when they introduced this whole peace movement, that's when it's really gonna get bad, man. So yeah, so let's get some precepts. These devils, man. These devils are something serious. Let me get So let me hold on. Bear with me. Get a couple precepts and so that's what it is, man. Transforming our world, the 23rd agenda for sustainable development. So this is Micah 2:1. Wow, that's heavy. I didn't even know that. Brother say in Indiana they don't even let the women ride bikes. The real been telling me that. So this is Micah 2:1. It reads. As a matter of fact, let's go here. Let me get this first. And because the Lord gave this devil these rights to do this, man. And as the Lord said in Genesis 3, that the serpent, he's gonna put enmity between the serpent seed and the woman's seed, right? And they get to do all these things in the earth because this is the Job 9:24, the earth was given to the hand of the wicked. So this is Job 2. In verse 2, it reads, so, the spiritual demon Satan got his physical seed, his counterpart on earth, playing out all his wicked deeds. So this is Job 2:2. And Yahweh said unto Satan, from whence comest thou? And Satan answered the Lord and said, from going to and fro in the earth and from walking up and down in it. Right? Because that's what these devils do, man. They get to do this. So in Micah 2:1, it reads, woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds when the morning is light. They practice it because it is in the power of their hand. You see, Job 9:24, the earth was given to the hand of the wicked. So they can do this. They get to walk around the earth and do whatever they want to do. What did he say? In Malachi 1:4, the Lord said they shall build. Esau said we will return and build the desolate places, right? So this is Proverbs chapter 4:16. It reads, for they sleep not, except they have done mischief, and their sleep is taken away, unless they cause some to fall. For they eat the bread of wickedness and drink the wine of violence. This is verse 19. It reads, the way of the wicked is as darkness, they know not at what they stumble. And that's why, hey, we got to concentrate on these prayers, man. You got to stay, in this circle, man. Praying to Yahweh Shema Shah that we be not removed from this circle, man. Because these devils, 2/3 of they don't know what's finna go down, man. They don't know what's finna go down. We don't even know how bad it's gonna get. We just know what the Lord say, man. Outside this circle is death, man. This is outside this circle is death, man. But those that fear Yahweh Shema Shah, the angels encampeth around them. This is Psalms 38 in verse 12. It reads, they also that seek after my life lay snares for me, and they that seek my hurt speak mischievous things and imagine deceits all the day long, man. That's what these devils do all day long. They imagine deceits. Now remember, it said in Job, I got to read this again in Job 2:2. And Yahweh said unto Satan, from whence comest thou? And Satan answered the Lord and said, from going to and fro in the earth and from walking up and down in it. Right? So when you go to Psalms 12:8, it reads, the wicked walk on every side, when the vilest men are exalted. So these devils back and forth through the earth, man, doing what? 1 Peter 5:8. It reads, be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about, seeking whom he may devour. You see? This is, and these devils, man, and they whole thing, as the articles say, is to get their birthright back. And they know they can't get it back. In that article, what is titled? The Illuminati, the master plan of the Illuminati Rothschilds, right? They know they can't get the birthright back. So they're going to try to kill many of us as possible, man. By any means. It say in Psalm 12:8, the wicked walk on every side when the vilest men are exalted. And what did Job say? Job said they are viler than the earth, man. Okay? Job said they are viler than the earth, man. This is who we dealing with. This devil coming with he's coming from all points, man. All points. And if we're not cool by you, how about Shema Shah, man? We ain't gonna make it. Well, we know the elect gonna make it, but none of us know who the elect is. So back to that walk, man. That daily walk, man. Right? Walk by we'll say walk by faith, not by sight. This is Psalms 21. But we know the Lord said none of these things is going to pan out, man. This is Psalms 21:8. It reads, thy hand shall find out all thine enemies, thy right hand shall find out those that hate thee. It say, thou shalt make them as a fiery oven in the time of thy anger. Yahweh shall swallow them up in his wrath, and the fire shall devour them. They say, their fruit shall thou destroy from the earth, and their seed from among the children of men. You see? Verse 11, for they intended evil against thee. They imagine a mischievous device which they are not able to perform. So they ain't going to be able to perform this, man. This is Psalms 33:10. It reads, the Lord bringeth the counsel of the heathen to naught. He maketh the devices of the people of none effect. You see? This is Job chapter 5 in verse 12. He disappointed the devices of the crafty so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise. He disappointed the device of the crafty so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise. He taketh the wise in their own craftiness, and the counsel of the forward is carried headlong. So what these devils got going on with their Agenda 2030, it ain't gonna work, man. It ain't gonna work. So Lord, what is edifying? I gotta give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shah, Bahashim Rekah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elder bishops and elders of great millstone who will, who teach well, who are the apostles and elders of all of Israel, already concepted or not. In the sincere salutation to all the Akim pushing this truth and believing this truth throughout the four winds of the earth, the entire world, wicked of the hopeful elect. And shalom to the wealth who are listening and learning. If your sisters are listening and learning, Lord was edifying tonight. Tell them I say shalom. Wa Baba Bath, the for tuning in. May you, how about Shema Shah, continue blessing your houses. Stay prayed up. Eat the water for your precepts. Shalom.